हेलो दोस्तों, अभी हम टॉपिक कर रहे हैं ना स्टार्ट आरसी रीडिंग कॉम्प्रीहेंशन। एक पैसेज दे रखा होगा, ठीक है। उसमें से कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछ लेंगे, इन क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करना है इस पैसेज को रीडिंग करके। रीडिंग कॉम्प्रीहेंशन इज द एबिलिटी टू रीड टेक्स्ट। एबिलिटी है एक रीड टेक्स्ट करने की, प्रोसेस इट एंड अंडरस्टैंड इट्स मीनिंग। कॉम्प्रीहेंशन जज योर कैपेबिलिटी of understanding the passage, your power of analyzing the problem in proper perspective, and your ability of presenting your answers quickly, correctly, and systematically. Comprehension measures your ability to read and understand the written passage. Through the comprehension exercise, you are asked to answer questions about the passage. For answering the questions based on reading the passage, it is important that your answers should be based on the information given the passage. Your own common sense, your own knowledge, your own perception should not be taken into account while answering the questions. If you have information from your own experience and knowledge, you should not use it to answer any question. Even if you think that there is some mistake in any paragraph of the comprehension, you must still answer the question on the basis of the information given in the passage. Some important points to solve reading comprehension. Skim through the paragraph quickly to understand what the author is saying, and also make notes of the section of the comprehension talking about specific ideas. This will help you find answers quickly after you have read the questions. Time saving strategy. Do not try to attempt a question which is difficult to understand or answering it is not easily traceable in the passage. Never assume any or use any outside knowledge. Try to eliminate the passage possible answer in answers in order to reach the most probable answer. Focus on the opening and closing paragraphs of longer passage. If the passage is too big, then focus mostly on opening and closing paragraph to get the gist of the passage. This will also help you in answering the questions in which the nature and spirit of the passage is asked. If a question asks about a particular line, then read at least two sentences before and after the line in the question. This will help you understand the idea of where the point is started and where the author is going with it. Antonym and synonym based questions can be solved by noticing how the word is used in the sentence. Since a word can have multiple meanings, there can be more than one choice that gives the correct answer, but only one choice will fit the word in the particular context. There is a lot of difference in attempting a reading comprehension online in the paper format. When attempt online, your reading speed might go down as it is difficult to skim through content, and also you cannot underline important points and mark different areas in the passage. Your speed will improve if you practice regularly. Because of lack of time in the bank view examination, you cannot attempt all the passages, especially the ones difficult for you. You have to choose between passage. Choose the passage according to the topic on which the passage is based. Suppose you are familiar with economics and get a passage on the economics. You should attempt all the questions on the passage and skip the topics you are unaware of, or leave them for the last minute attempt. Making interference is an important strategy. When you infer, you draw conclusion from what is not exactly said. There is a kind of reasoning which leads to conclusion. While answering the questions, the candidate has to read between the lines. Answers are not directly stated by the author usually, but the candidate puts together the knowledge with the clues to produce questions that points toward a solution. Candidates will face such type of questions in bank PO examinations. अब ये क्या है, पैसेज नंबर 1। इसमें क्या करना है, पैसेज दे रखा होगा, इसको पढ़ना है। पॉजिटिव है, नेगेटिव है, न्यूट्रल है, यानी कि इंफॉर्मेशन दे रहा है खाली, क्या कर रहा है, ठीक है। और इसका एक निकालना पड़ेगा थीम, बस किस बारे में बात हो रही है, इतना ही करना और कुछ नहीं करना। बाकी जो क्वेश्चंस होंगे वो पैसेज में मिल जाएंगे। इन अ फ्यू ईयर्स द आइडिया ऑफ रिसीविंग मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट के रिलेटेड कुछ बात हो रही है, एक्सक्लूसिवली एट डॉक्टर्स ऑफिस और हॉस्पिटल विल सीम पॉइंट। Wearable technologies, implemented devices, and smartphone apps allow continue monitoring and create a ubiquitous 24 into 7 digitized picture of your health that can be assessed and analyzed in real time anywhere. Data gathering is not the only force moving treatment out of the doctor's office. Telemedicine, home diagnostics, and retail clinics increasingly treat patients where they live and work, with incremental revenue, cost savings, and customer loyalty all up for grabs. A range of players from consumer product companies to digital and mobile technology firms are already fiercely staking their claim. As with the original gold rush of 1840s, we believe two principal business models will emerge: gold miners who dig deep in one major area and better bartenders who offer customized and convenient options to address routine needs. The gold miner strategy will typically involve vertically integrated players, large institutions like insurer, hospitals, and physicians groups, creating medical value by better managing the health of the heaviest users of healthcare. The 30% of patients with complex conditions that compromise 75% to 80% of all medical spending by coordinating care more effectively can and offering daily support through mobile communication and remote monitoring along with community outreach. These companies can help shift care to more timely, home-based and less costly intervention. The bartender's strategy represents a much more dramatic transformation. In this approach, new entrant companies, often players from outside healthcare's retail, software, electronics, and apparel, focus on empowering and creating a better experience for consumers by providing detailed, personalized health information and advice. This approach is profoundly disruptive in that it circumvents the doctor-patient relationship and gives people far greater choice and control over where they receive care, how and from whom. As a renewed economist put it, the digitization of human beings will make a parody out of doctor knows best. For example, consider a woman with random heart palpitations in the gold miner approach. She would be enrolled in a preventive care program, the centerpiece of which could be an app for her phone that continually tracks cardiac activity, with the bulk of decision centrally controlled through a clinical care team. Care team. By contrast, a bartender approach would be to sell the patient an ECG and lifestyle app for her smartphone and let her retain control over the data. The patient records her daily activity through the app's intuitive interface and decide whether to send the data to her doctor, to a vendor's experts, or to a computer for continuous monitoring and interpretation. The app also tracks lifestyle behaviors such as exercise, diet, sleep, medications as data accumulates. Patterns start to emerge, such as a correlation between certain medication and the severity and frequency of her palpitations. The app can suggest a range of interventions from text alert reminders of her medication schedule to automatically notifying a designated contact in an emergency. Every choice represents a potential revenue stream that is up for grabs between incumbents and new players. These scenarios are already in play today. Mobile health company Aliver Alivcor sells a device that tracks ECG via a smartphone and provides consumers options for sharing and interpreting the data with third-party vendors and doctors. Device and analytic firms such as Welldoc and Bluestar use mobile self-management programs to monitor blood sugar and offer coaching to diabetic patients. Technological advance based on the bartender model will also push the boundaries of healthcare into new retail frontiers. Will patients now owning and interpreting their health data? They will enter every medical encounter armed with meaningful, personalized expertise, not just a few pages printed from the internet. When expertise becomes tailored to the individual and broadly accessible, provides providers must add greater value through relationship building and a deeper understanding of patient needs. The new companies applying the bartender approach are by no means fringe players. They will fundamentally restructure the flow of money in healthcare and create enormous medical value in the process. A forthcoming strategy and study of profit pools in the future US healthcare value chain found that applying the bartender model could reduce healthcare spending by $400 billion a year by 2025. This is nearly three times the reduction we saw in a scenario in which gold miners dominated. The gold miner approach represents progress, but it is incremental progress within the current healthcare model. Bartenders, by contrast, will accelerate the transformation of the industry by profoundly challenging the industry's current one-size-fits-all standard of care and centralized clinical authority. Which of the following is most nearly the same in meaning as the word fringe as used in the passage? Fringe मतलब minor. Minor और fringe have same meaning. To option C is correct. अब ये तो क्या है? ये vocab है. इसके लिए ज़रूरत है ही नहीं इसकी. लेकिन फिर भी एक बार देखते हैं आसपास क्या कह रहा है. Fringe. ये रहा. The new companies applying the bartender approach by a no means. No means मतलब बिल्कुल भी नहीं, यानी कि कम से कम, यानी कि माइनर. ठीक है, तो मुझे फ्रिंज का मतलब नहीं पता, लेकिन इससे मैं अंदाज़ा लगा सकता हूँ. और इसमें क्वेश्चन में क्या दिया है? सेंट्रल. नो मीन्स किसके लिए यूज़ होता है? नो मीन्स प्लेयर भी लिखा है उसके आगे. ठीक है, बीच में हमारे लिखा है फ्रिंज, तो उसका मतलब क्या हो जाएगा? बिल्कुल भी नहीं. ठीक है, तो क्या आएगा इसका? माइनर इसका हो जाएगा सही आंसर. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज मोस्ट नियरली द अपोजिट इन मीनिंग एज द वर्ड पॉइंट एज यूज्ड इन द पैसेज? अब यहाँ पे लिखा है इन a few years the idea of receiving medical treatment exclusively at a doctor's office or hospital will seem quaint. यानी कि common. Quaint means least often to be seen, hence common is the best antonym. ठीक है, which of the following is or not true in context of passage? Technology are forced companies to come up with unique ideas to attract consumers if they wish to prosper. Many companies have become alert to capitalize on the fact that consumers probably have become more health conscious. The gold miner approach is more popular in developed countries as compared to Asian countries. अब ये सब जो है ये उसमें देखने पड़ेंगे. एक बार देख लेते हैं टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में कहाँ पे बताया है. टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में पूरा पढ़ना पड़ेगा, उसके बाद देखना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, तो इसका सही आंसर लेकिन क्या हो जाएगा? ओनली सी इसका सही आंसर हो जाएगा. लेकिन टाइम नहीं है तो फिर इसको देखकर हम कर सकते हैं टेक्नोलॉजी हैज़ फोर्स तो करनी थी कंपनी को, ठीक है, तो ये गलत हो जाएगा अपने आप में। मैनी कंपनीज हैव बिकम अलर्ट टू कैपिटलाइज ऑन द फैक्ट, कैपिटलाइजेशन की कहीं पे बात नहीं करी गई है। द कंज्यूमर प्रोबेबली हैव बिकम मोर हेल्थ कॉन्शियस, कंज्यूमर ज़्यादा हेल्थ कॉन्शियस हो, इसकी बात नहीं करी है, पूरी बात करी गई है टेक्नोलॉजी की और उनका डाटा, ठीक है। द गोल्ड माइनर्स अप्रोच इज मोर पॉपुलर इन डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज एज कम्पेयर टू एशियन कंट्रीज, तो ये आंसर इसका क्या हो जाएगा, सही हो जाएगा। विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज मोस्ट नियरली द सेम इन मीनिंग एज द वर्ड प्रोफाउंडली एज यूज्ड इन द पैसेज, ये आंसर इसका सही हो जाएगा। द ऑथर इन गिवन पैसेज is pessimistic about advancement in technology, consider technological intervention in medical profession as profitable, मेडिकल प्रोफेशन को कैसे बनाना चाह रही हैं प्रॉफिटेबल, ए आंसर इस बी आंसर इसका क्या हो जाएगा, सही हो जाएगा। अब आ जाते हैं विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग एक्सप्लेन्स द मीनिंग ऑफ द फ्रेज द डिजिटलाइजेशन ऑफ ह्यूमन बींग्स विल मेक अ पैरोडी आउट ऑफ डॉक्टर नो बेस्ट एज यूज्ड इन द पैसेज, ये रहा यहीं पे। renewed economist puts it the digitalization of human beings will make a parody out of doctors know best, for example consider a woman with random heart palpitations तो डिजिटलाइजेशन हो रहा है तो फिर डॉक्टर को विजिट करने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, ऐसा जिसमें सेंस दे रहा है वो वाला हमारा सही हो जाएगा। विद द एडवेंट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी पेशेंट टेंड टू लेस डिपेंडेंट ऑफ डॉक्टर, डिपेंडेंट्स हम कम हो रहे हैं डॉक्टर पे, डी आंसर इसका सही हो जाएगा। विजिटिंग द डॉक्टर विल नेवर, नेवर तो कहीं कहाँ नहीं है, डिपेंडेंसी कम हो जाएगी खाली, ठीक है, डिपेंडेंट कम हो जाएंगे ये कहा है, लेकिन कभी विजिट नहीं करना ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं कहा है। as mentioned in the passage which of the following is and are true regarding the bartender strategy, क्या कहा है इसमें, सी आंसर सही है। टू बी सक्सेसफुल इट रिक्वायर्स इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ट्रेडिशनल ऑफिस सेटअप, ऑफिस सेटअप की कहीं बात नहीं करी, ओनली हाईली एक्सपीरियंस्ड मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल्स आर इन्वॉल्व इन द बारटेंडर्स अप्रोच, इसको हम पढ़ के देखेंगे एक बार, तो इसका आंसर खाली क्या है, सही है। हाईली एक्सपीरियंस की भी बात नहीं करिए, किसकी बात करिए इसमें, टेक्नोलॉजी की बात करी हुई है, जो प्रोफेशनल हैं उनको हाईली एक्सपीरियंस्ड होना जरूरी नहीं है इसके लिए। Which of the following is most nearly the opposite in meaning has the word challenging has used in the passage, B आंसर क्या क्या हो जाएगा, challenging या फिर accepting। As mentioned in the passage which of the following distinguished the gold miner approach from the bartender's approach, क्या हो जाएगा इसका सही आंसर, the former involves in depth knowledge of an area while the latter involves a gamut of tools and gain knowledge, knowledge gain करने की बात नहीं करिए, former was introduced period of the later in US, गलत है, former approach is more reliable as in the latter there is scope for misinterpretation on a part of consumer, the former restrict control to take control to the consumers as compared to the latter which makes the patient completely in charge of his situation, सी और डी इसका क्या हो जाएगा, सही आंसर हो जाएगा। Which of the following cannot be suitable title for the passage, customize the buzzword changing trends in the field of medicine, ई डॉक्टर soon to be reality, ई डॉक्टर यानी कि टेक्नोलॉजी की बात की गई है, ई डॉक्टर और डॉक्टर को पर डिपेंडेंट कम हो रहे हैं हम, ठीक है, तो फिर क्या हो जाएगा इसका, ई डॉक्टर। टेक्नोलॉजीज ओमनी प्रेजेंट ये गलत है, सी आंसर इसका सही हो जाएगा। अब पैसेज नंबर 2 करेंगे कल विद ट्रिक्स, जिसमें पैसेज को पढ़ने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, ठीक है, क्वेश्चंस पढ़ेंगे उसके बाद पैसेज देखेंगे थोड़ा सा और फिर बहुत जल्दी इसके आंसर निकाल लेंगे।